Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to This Week in Bitcoin, Super Spreading Bitcoin 2022. Today is February the 11th of 2022. No circuit breakers in Bitcoin, solutions over sympathy. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. Strong hand, buy and hold. Golden age of the 2020s. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable, uncensorable, permissionless. I am offended by selling. These dudes are in motion. Best freaking guest in the space I bring you here on This Week in Bitcoin. Kaz is back in the house. Robert Valentine is back in the house. And Alex McShane, all right, making his freaking debut today. Now, before we get to the best guest in the freaking space, okay, I got to read you what's going on, promote the big Miami event. It's like less than 2 months away now. Oh my. I got to read this to you. They pay the bills. Bitcoin 2022 is the largest Bitcoin event in the world that takes place on April 6th to 9th in Miami Beach, Florida. All 4 days will be jam-packed with exclusive content, exciting announcements, and an incredible lineup of Bitcoin speakers, artists, and leaders. And I'll be there. Day one is Industry Day for enterprising Bitcoiners who are looking to build a business or career within the ecosystem. Days 2 and 3, they're going to be awesome. Our general conference days featuring speakers like El Salvador El Presidente, Nayib Bukele, who has promised a big surprise. Oh, wow, I can only imagine. As well as CEOs like Michael Saylor, Elizabeth Stark, Jack Mallers, Adam Back, and hundreds more. The conference caps off on the 4th day with the world's first and largest Bitcoin music festival, Sound Money Fest, headlined by rapper and fellow Bitcoin Logic and some other dudes that I don't know their names of and I can't pronounce. Last year's conference sold out, and this year's is on pace to be 3 times larger. That means 30,000 freaking people. We're going to be super spreading freaking Bitcoin, not some freaking virus. So make sure you grab your tickets before it's too late. Visit b.tc/conference to learn more. Pay in Bitcoin. I'm offended by selling. To save and use promo code ADAM10 for 10% off. It's linked to below. And I will see you in Miami, dudes. All 3 of these guys are linked to below. We'll discuss if they're going to be there. Ticket prices increase on February 18th. So, all right, dudes. So enough about talking Miami. Let's talk about cold Canada, okay? Because Canada is freaking not so cold right now. They are on fire. I think it is the biggest freaking Bitcoin news of 2022 so far. The GoFundMe people weren't going to let the truckers raise money. They were going to confiscate their freaking money, in fact. And the truckers had to find a way to fund themselves. So BTC Benny and some other Canadian Bitcoiners, they set up this Tallycoin fundraiser using Bitcoin. And they've raised 21 Bitcoin for these truckers, for the Freedom Convoy, okay? And I am so excited because it's been on Tucker Carlson. Some national publications are going to write about it. And only today, Decrypt finally wrote about it. But word is spreading about, the true, this is a real use case of Bitcoin. This could change fundraising. Get rid of these centralized Everyone's complaining about big tech censoring this, that, and the other. Well, this is your way freaking around it, okay? This is the way around it. Permissionless, unconfiscatable, uncensorable. 21 Bitcoin so far. We got guys making challenges that if 10 guys give 1 Bitcoin, another guy's going to give 1 Bitcoin. It's going to get bigger than 21 Bitcoin. Kaz, you have said some great things online. You brought up a great point. If you think that these intermediaries can censor now, wait till we have the Fed coin turning people off. But Kaz, what is your take? Is this the biggest story of 2022? Welcome back.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely so far the biggest story as Bitcoin's had in 2022. It's definitely probably the biggest Bitcoin advertisement since WikiLeaks. So, you know, the famous Satoshi quote, "We kicked the hornet's nest with WikiLeaks." Well, now the COVID authoritarians, oh, I didn't mean to say that word. You know, the authoritarians have kicked the hornet's nest and they've woken people up to freedom money. So we have freedom protests shaking hands with freedom money. And we see what happens. So it wasn't just, it wasn't just GoFundMe. It was also Give, Send, Go. So now like $13 million has been either seized or frozen. Either way, it's in some centralized intermediary limbo. And now we have over 21 Bitcoin raised, just through, hodlers of last resort, honestly. Like, wait till we kick the can open and people who have never bought Bitcoin before start buying Bitcoin because they realize what it is. And it's like you say all the time, Adam, it's, unconfiscatable, unseizable, freedom money. And now the whole world is now, seeing, oh, wait, so if we can defund the same people who, make our lives hell, we can use our money however we want to. And it's just beautiful.
Okay, then you bring up a very good point here. Wait till the normies realize what you can do with Bitcoin here, okay? In terms of funding people that are not liked anymore by the normies, okay? By the media and everything that are vilified. These people, what they're calling these truckers, the names they're calling, I can't even repeat the names, as I think I'm going to get demonetized if I mention the names. They comparing them to the people in Europe that were on the bad side in World War II. Okay, that starts with an N. I can't say their names. I want to say their names. It's horrible that we can't even say the names of those evil people. But that's not what the Canadians are right now. But the point I wanted to say is that all you people worried about the price of Bitcoin, why is it going down, dudes? If people understand, because normies, it takes them a while to figure stuff out. There are plenty of normies that want to help out these Canadians. The only way you can freaking help them right now is with Bitcoin. I'm sorry, okay? The Christian one that you brought up, Go Send Me, whatever, they're being blocked by Canada. They're trying to get these guys the money. They're centralized. They're a weak point, okay? This is the only way you're going to be able to support them. And if it just clicks in enough people's heads all of a sudden, a bunch of people are going to buy Bitcoin to just defend it to the Canadians, to the truckers. So, Alex, welcome to the show, dude. High energy here, as you can see. And when you meet me in person one day, you will see it. This is how I am in person. All you people that are going to see me in Miami. But, Alex, what's your take on this?
My take is I'm a little bit bummed out, to be honest, Adam. I'm trying to get to Canada. I'd like to report on this live. I'm not vaccinated. Very hard for unvaccinated people to get into Canada, even up here by the border. So we'll see. I mean, I'm happy the caution and with the open sourceness that people have taken, kind of reaching out to the community, having open discussions about what do we do with these Bitcoin funds. How do we allocate these in a responsible, safe, private way? How do we verify? How do we get proof of truck? I mean, lot of important questions as we, as people put their good, hard stored time in Bitcoin and energy toward this cause, which I think if this protest is successful, this can be replicated anywhere, and you will see convoys, protests of all sorts, and freedom kind of emerge in Europe, hopefully in the States, and just get us out of this mess,
Yeah, very good point about not being able to go up there. It is, but that's part of what this protest is about. So these restrictions do go away, so we can have true free trade again between Canada and the United States. It's absolutely ridiculous. They're hurting themselves like this economically by making it a pain in the tuchus for trucks to go back and forth and people to go back and forth between this very wealthy border. And yes, this should be replicated. I'm going to tell you something. The Super Bowl is in Los Angeles this weekend, and we're going to talk about that. The truckers should be blockading freaking Inglewood. Right? Okay? That's what should be going on right now, too. It should have already spread right to. But, hey, we're going to see. Maybe it's going to spread into Europe. Who knows? This is great advertising for Bitcoin. For all the people who still foolishly say it can't be used for anything. How can you say it can't be used for anything? It gets away. It gets around all these ridiculous rules and restrictions that the government's put in there, or that companies choose to have. All right, Robert, you're a very calm man. What do you think about what's going on in North America from your perch in the Netherlands?
Well, I absolutely love what is happening. I mean, how bad the past years have been in terms of COVID regulations for liberty. These established institutions are killing themselves with these kinds of actions. And I like Kay was saying, this is one of the best use cases you can have for Bitcoin. And the world is watching, and everybody can see that you need to become ungovernable, and Bitcoin is the way to do that. And if you want to keep your money safe, this is the way to do it. And GoFundMe, I mean, you have to be really, really dumb with such a name to try something like this. I mean, the meme writes themselves, right? I mean, go fund yourself. I mean, what's going on? This is just crazy. And I think on a broader view from this, that all these institutions, media, big tech, politics, the trust here in the Netherlands is really at an all-time low. And people are looking for alternatives. And when they see the GoFundMe case and see that, you can pay for the things you like without a third party interfering or being needed, I think it's a great thing. I absolutely love it. I love it.
Yeah, this is the true teacher of what the word uncensorable means, what permissionless means, what disintermediation means, what unconfiscatable means. These are concepts that I guess are hard to grasp, but now it's right in people's faces, so they better freaking grasp it at this point. I hope they do. I hope they do. And anything else you want to say? I mean, we do any commentary on the protests in Europe, because it does vary from country to country. If anything. And you are a guy, just everyone has seen you on my channel before. You haven't been on This Week in Bitcoin, but you ran for office in the Netherlands on a libertarian type of party. So I mean, real quick, you could say what's going on over there, I guess.
Well, we're just getting out of a lockdown. The Netherlands was the only country in the world during the Omicron crisis who decided we needed a lockdown because the cases were skyrocketing, and they feared, mass death and mass healthcare overflow and all stuff like that. So it has been closed off for I think a month and a half. Well, nothing happened and nobody got really ill or really sick, and a few people die of it, but that's with you can name a lot of contagious diseases which kills people every year if we don't lock down the country. So we were the only country in the world who did that. So I think it's absolutely insane, and most people still look at the Netherlands as like this classic liberal country, but we're far from that. I think I mentioned the last time when I was on your show that we're really authoritarian, and we do it in a sneaky way because we do it through companies. We don't do it to the state up front, but we do it through companies. We watch the trucker convoy, the Freedom Convoy in Canada closely because and we're copying it actually. I think, and we're getting text messages that I think this weekend it's going to be in Brussels. So the UE headquarters is going to get a convoy as well. I'm not sure how big it's going to be, and I read there's also plans of doing the same thing here in the Netherlands. So that's the beauty of it. Like, even though Trudeau tries to scoff it off as a few people coming to Ottawa, people here are waking up to the nonsense and chiming in and doing their thing to get rid of these people who have been ruling us for 2 years really badly.
So yeah, it's great. Bitcoiners are funding inspiration all over the world, baby, all over the world. Pound that like button, everybody. All right, we'll move on from this. But Kaz, you've got anything else to say? You were the first one to talk about this, so I'll let you have the final word.
No, I don't have anything else to say to this one.
All right, cool. Alex, anything else?
I'm good.
All right, dudes. All right. Well, let's hope it spreads all over the world. I linked to how you can go to the page. It's linked to below. Tallycoin. And the cool thing is you can give like 7 cents if you want. The Lightning Network. That's another topic of discussion right there. It's giving some Bitcoiners some experience with the Lightning Network also, how fast and awesome it is. So it's been a great experience. Keep on spreading the word. And it's just amazing. We know BTC Benny and the guys that are behind this. It's really cool. And you can read what the mainstream media says about it. Just go directly to the horse's mouth. The press conferences are on the site and everything. It's go directly to the horse's mouth. Okay, let's. We're talking about unconfiscatable a little bit here, and the big Bitfinex hack was back in 2016. I remember it fondly. the Bitcoin price was $700, and then it dropped into the 500s, and people were thinking it was the end of the freaking world. And now, all these years later, apparently they caught the hackers, a couple in New York City, apparently, and she's good at social engineering. Doesn't seem like she's a technical person here. So they stored the keys in the cloud, and the United States government was able to get the Bitcoin back. And some ignorant people are saying, "Oh, you see, Bitcoin is confiscatable." No, it's not. If you just put your private keys out there, I mean, it's very easy to just take the private keys. Okay, if you do it properly, it's unconfiscated. But the big questions I have is, were they really the hackers? Will the United States government give the money back to Bitfinex? Yeah, but we'll start with Alex here. What's your take on the whole situation?
Seems a little fishy. Seems like these two might be patsies, or they've, picked up this Bitcoin for pennies on the dollar from someone who had really hot hands after they hacked and stole this Bitcoin. It just seems odd. I don't think they carried out the hacking. I don't know what the U.S. government ought to do. This is an opportunity for them to up their net treasury reserve in Bitcoin, as right now the United States has zero. This would be a good way to get off zero. As far as I understand, all the Bitfinex patrons were already paid back in some coin or other a long time ago. I don't know if you need to pay them in the same asset that they put up. That would seem appropriate to refund them in actual Bitcoin too. But yeah, I don't really know what the move is here. I don't know enough about it. I just think it seems strange to me that someone would have that much Bitcoin and store the password on the cloud. I feel like this might be used as a campaign, one of many small kind of literal psyops that the U.S. government's going to use against Bitcoin and Bitcoiners, because they can't stop it, but they can use propaganda to change public opinion about it. And I think that's kind of our biggest attack vector.
And again, and put it out there that it's confiscatable. And there's all sorts of people that say, you see, it's not anonymous. Dudes, no one was claiming it was anonymous in the first place. I mean, it's amazing some of the ignorant commentary you get, whether it be from the people's ripping on the truckers or from the people ripping on the hackers now. You gain a lot of knowledge into normie mindset, which is they don't really use their minds very much. I'll tell you that. Now, you do say that Bitfinex sort of compensated. Well, they had a bail-in, first of all, where they took the people who were silly enough to store their funds on Bitfinex. They all took a haircut, but then they made up their own coin that was able to reimburse them. I will say this: if I was a person storing my funds on Bitfinex and I heard about this and I heard that I wasn't going to get fully compensated in terms of my Bitcoin, I would try to sue someone. And also, the United States keeping this money, I mean, it does appear to be theft in a sense. I mean, it wasn't the United States money in the first place, but they will. I think something that's going to get thrown out there is that they're going to say Bitfinex and Tether owe us anyway. So we're just taking what they owe us. We're in a legal dispute with them, and we're not getting. They're a shady organization. We're not going to help fund the shady organization. So who knows what direction this is going to go in. And you're absolutely right. The United States probably doesn't have any Bitcoin right now. This would be a way to get off zero, but it's theft in a sense also. So it's very, very interesting story here. Robert, I don't know, in Europe, in Netherlands, do you have any take on this?
Well, I've seen this story, and I had the same feeling Alex had, that they didn't seem like professional hackers to me. So I was wondering, Alex, do you know anything about their background, or why you just said that they were patsies. In what way would it help the U.S. government, to prosecute these people for this crime if they didn't do it? You might.
Alex, yeah.
Sorry about that. I think the U.S. realized the threat of Bitcoin a long time ago, and they've probably been planning to dissuade people from using it for a long time now, and so far as they can without wrecking their own, politicians and kind of private interests in it. So that's very general, right? Specifically, I don't know. I would imagine they find gullible, vulnerable people who are kind of like adjacent, like she was big in social engineering and kind of like, I don't know, tricking people into careers, it seemed like, somewhat ditzy. Yeah, I think the U.S. government, I mean, they might have hacked Bitfinex and just sold them this Bitcoin for super cheap and come back and picked it up several years later. I mean, you just don't know. There's just so many unknowns, like with these cases. I agree that it would be theft and probably like wrong on some level for the U.S. to keep it, but I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, they don't have any like moral compass as it is, so it's not outside of the realm of possibility, I don't think.
I do want to bring us back to 2016 again. Bitfinex had some bad security, dudes, and I can see how they could be socially engineered by some woman. It is possible that they were the real hackers, and that Bitfinex was just that pathetic in terms of its security. That it was a partial inside job or something like that too. So I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of a big. I think it is possible that there were real professional hackers that sold them this Bitcoin, that they might have got it this way, but I don't think the United States of America was behind that Bitfinex hack originally. Bitcoin was not exactly on the radar of the United States back then. It was so small. Remember, I'm talking about it dropped from 700 to the 500s. That's where we were back then, okay? That's where we were back then. We're in a whole different world now. Super Bowl commercials, dudes. You would have laughed your toughness off at those Super Bowl commercials back then. Well, let's Kaz, your take on are they the legit hackers? What is the United States to do with this Bitcoin? Social engineering?
Yeah, I don't know if they're the legit hackers. It definitely seems like something is up there. It's a little off, but I think the timing of it is really coincidental too. So we have what we just discussed as the first bullet in this podcast, as like Bitcoin sort of making headlines around the world. And we have at the same time these funds getting seized. And now we have this argument and FUD coming out, that Bitcoin can be seized. Is that coincidental? I think that's a little odd to me. My ears perk up when I hear the timing of it. My ears perk up when I see the people who they claim are the hackers. Not saying it's not possible. Totally could be. But if you're saying that Bitcoin was not on the radar in 2016, I totally disagree with you, Adam. If you don't think that three-letter agencies and people inside three-letter agencies in 2016 were anticipating and knew what Bitcoin was, I totally believe that they did. And so now when I see, I read this headline and say, this three-letter agencies just acquired, 120,000 or 96,000 Bitcoin or whatever the number was. Because I don't think they have any intention on giving it back to Bitfinex. They don't give a shit about people or companies for that matter.
Well, yeah, I don't think they want to give it back. Definitely, that's true. And okay, they knew about Bitcoin back then. No doubt about it. Okay, that is true. I lived through it. They knew about it. But to say they would hack Bitfinex back then, I don't think it was a United States government operation. And then wait 6 years to this. There would have been other times to spray it where it would be more effective in terms of hurting Bitcoin. I mean, letting this story come out, let's say in the December of 2018 would have been much worse for Bitcoin than now. So I don't think I need some extraordinary proof on the extraordinary claim that the United States government was behind the Bitfinex hack. I'm not gonna go there, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. But if I said it wasn't on their radar, I forgot how I phrased it. Yeah, okay, they knew clearly that's incorrect. Bitcoin was on the United States. If we've got a legitimate security apparatus back there, if they're not just obsessed with making up stories about Russia, then yeah, they knew about Bitcoin. It was important to them for quite some time, but to say that they hacked Bitfinex, I don't know. I need some big old proof with that. All right. Well, Pat, do you guys have anything else to say? Any about these guys, or how this is all going to resolve in the end, or if it's going to get dragged out some more?
Well, it's a story to watch anyways, because the U.S. government now owns like 1% of all Bitcoin, like they're the third biggest holder after MicroStrategy and Grayscale. So I mean, it's massive, and I think we had a discussion earlier on like the holders, the account holders on Bitfinex. But I think they should give it back to the company itself. They got defrauded in the first place. So like it doesn't matter how they compensated their clients. Like they're the legal owner of those Bitcoins. So US government should give it back to the company, and then they should resolve it with their clients again. But I'm not sure how they're gonna roll this.
I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say there's this other option here that I don't think we brought up today, which is that Bitfinex was having like solvency issues and walked away themselves, hacked themselves.
Well, that is a big, that is more legitimate that I think than the United States government doing it, because the rumors back then was Tether's insolvent, Bitfinex is insolvent. So some people did think Bitfinex hacked itself, that they created this whole situation where they'd be able to make their own token and bail people out. And there was interesting that you bring that back up again. So I mean that was flying around back in the day also. I gotta say, Robert, you are right. The money, it was the company that was hacked. Who cares how they reimburse their people? That the funds were stolen from the company, so they should give the funds back to the company. But I don't know. I think the United States might do it, but then keep some of it, and just to keep the Tether thing alive, to keep the lawsuit alive. The United States government is not going to let Tether get away with unscathed. Okay, they're going to try to use this to hurt Tether, because that United States government does not like a direct competition with the United States dollar, and Tether is a better version of the United States dollar. I don't care if it's not backed by a darn thing. People like to use it. It's easier to use than the United States dollar. That's another story there. Okay. Any more thoughts on the Bitfinex situation from any of you guys? All right, let's go to Russia here real quick. Okay. We're talking about the United States. Russia is expected to regulate crypto like foreign currencies, says a report. Russia has moved closer to regulating the crypto industry, with reports stating that the asset class will be treated like foreign currencies. Now, wait. This was big news. All the crypto publications were talking about it. I mean, it was in mainstream media. Russia is giving us their opinion on how they would like to regulate Bitcoin and treat it like a foreign. And the reason I'm bringing up this story is because at this point, I think it is so ridiculous that the media even covers story, makes these stories so prominent. Russia is nothing. Who cares what Russia does? It is just a backwater. It is a poor, weak, they got some nukes. That is all. If they didn't have those nukes, who would care? It's not 1984. It's not Khrushchev. It's not 1960 Cuban Missile Crisis. It's none of this anymore, okay? They are living on a reputation that is so flushed down the toilet now. And for me, I think it's painful that there are Bitcoin people that I think have bought into the narrative, that's the fake news narrative, that, for 4 years that Russia was so important in terms of politics and that they own the president. They did all these lies. I think they brought into the Bitcoin world, and Bitcoin doesn't care about Russia. And I am tired of these stories. I really don't care how Russia because they're going to screw it up anyway. They're controlled by a dictator. He just is doing whatever is best for him. So, that's where they get their regulatory regime. It's impulsive. No, it shouldn't be replicated. It shouldn't be honored at all. So that is why I bring it up. I'm tired of hearing about Russia everywhere I darn go, because they're worthless. And I don't know, Robert, what's your take? You're in Europe.
I think it's a difficult situation because I totally understand where you're coming from. And besides that, is now Russia. Every time like a government adopts Bitcoin, you need to wonder if it's a good case, if it's something we need. I think in the normal world we live in, big institutions like Russia, if they say to regulate it might help adoption. It might help like people who are not in our, I say that in our tribe to take a better look at it. I think it's a difficult point. Like during the campaign here in the Netherlands, we also had one of the points we tried to make in our campaign was that Bitcoin should be a legal tender in the Netherlands, that we should embrace it more. And I know from businesses that they actually like when government regulates something, because then they know what the vision is of the government. So they rather have something regulated than unregulated, and not knowing what's going to happen. Like, are they going to ban it? Are they going to allow it? Like, make some rules so we know where we're heading. So I totally agree. Like, it's not that Russia is like this, what you hear sometimes in the Bitcoin or libertarian community, like the savior of whatever freedom thing we need. That's not the case. That's totally not the case. But I can see that adoption by countries might build on the PR of Bitcoin. And the question, it's a legit question. Do we want that? Do we want the governments in general, besides Russia, to start adopting Bitcoin in this kind of way? I mean, I like my stuff unregulated, so just keep your hands off. But I know that a lot of people think differently. So it might be, a way of going to the ultimate ideal where everybody is known and using Bitcoin, and government just cannot get their hands on it.
I want to say, I think some people are so frustrated with the worldwide financial status quo that they see Russia as a fighter against it, as
exactly.
To just blindly support. And so if they made a move toward Bitcoin, oh, well, look, it's going to change the whole world. And I just strongly disagree with that. And here's a guy that said, I can't believe how much attention Russia's position on Bitcoin is getting. It's a mafia state with a crumbling economy solely based on the export of natural resources. It's all noise. Bitcoin doesn't care what Putin says or does. I strongly agree with that right there. Kaz, what's your take on this situation?
Yeah, I don't think Putin or Russia have any intentions of adopting Bitcoin from any sense. I think they are looking to legalize digital assets under their law because they're working on their digital ruble, which is known. They're also collaborating with major international banks to do that. So I think you're going to see a lot more private CBDCs, like kind of competition-wise, come out of Russia. I think that's their sole intention. I think all this nonsense we're seeing of we're going to kick Russia out of SWIFT. Yeah, I think we totally could see that happening. And it's all just part of the Great Reset. And this is to kick off more of, another nation in the West having a CBDC.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are.
Sorry, the East, not the West.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I said the West. I meant the East.
Yeah, well, they definitely admitted they love the CBD. They want to go the CBDC route. They want to control their people. I mean, they're more of a. They wish they could be China. he wishes he could have such a. And it's disgusting that anyone would want to be more like China in that authoritarian way. He wishes he could be that. By the way, people in the chat, you could do a super chat. You can ask questions. These guys will answer your questions. We only need a little bit more to have a one Bitcoin show next week. And by the way, this week in Bitcoin will be Thursday next week because I will be on the road driving to New Mexico from Texas to New Mexico next Friday. Alex, your take on Russia?
I'll give you my take on Russia, but real quick, where are you going in New Mexico? I lived there less than 6 months ago.
Well, I'm going to Farmington, New Mexico, which I've dreamed of going there for a year because I have been traveling across the country and I want to see real America. I want to see the cities that are supposedly losing population and that people are running away from that used to be centers of industry and see if they're as bad and scary as people say they are. I was in West Virginia in what's that darn city called? Huntington, which is also going down in population. And I loved it. I loved Huntington. It was, I mean, sure, there were some meth heads there and whatever. And I know I'm going to see plenty of alcoholics on the street in Farmington and whatever. But and it's got a beautiful temperature. I like seeing it for myself, okay? And I'm not one of these people, these coastal elite that go from one big city to another on a plane. I'm seeing the real cities in my car that I just bought for this situation to drive across the country. No, I don't have a Lambo, people. I have a freaking. I bought a what's the door? I don't even know the name. I care so much about cars. Nissan Versa. That's what I have. You see me, my black Nissan Versa, driving from Midland, Texas. Which, by the way, here in Midland, Texas, it is on fire. Texas, they are working hard. They don't have restrictions, and people are moving here. They're making money here. It's great. So I'm curious to see. New Mexico is a blue state, and they have regulations, but we shall see. We shall see. So yeah, that's my spiel on New Mexico, guys. I will be there for 2 weeks before I get to Vegas for the unconfiscatable event that Tone Vase is putting on March 3rd to 6th. I can't wait to see you dudes. And by the way, in the chat we have my buddy from California is there. If Johnny Midas, if you want to contact me, if you want to go to Vegas, I might be able to hook you up. But you got to send me a private message. All right, Alex, take it away on Russia and New Mexico. If you got a comment on that.
New Mexico is great nature-wise. Cities are a wreck. Santa Fe is okay, kind of touristy, but I think you'll love it, man. I think you'll have a great time. The outdoors it's kind of like a well-kept secret. It's a great state.
Well, and that's what I'm looking for. The outdoors in West Virginia are beautiful also. But you hear about Farmington, you're like, oh, they moved the industry moved out. It's going down the tubes. And I mean, maybe Bitcoin mine. Maybe Bitcoin mine could take on there. I've heard about Bitcoin mining in New Mexico and stuff. It's the Four Corners area. And not many people go to from the East. I'm from the East Coast, Baltimore originally. Now, you don't hear about many people from Baltimore hanging out in the Four Corners area. I want to see this for myself. Okay, Russia, take it away. Alex. Why am I not hearing Alex?
Oh, sorry. I think I got muted. I don't see Russia adopting Bitcoin as a legal foreign currency. I don't see how that. Like you said, Bitcoin is orthogonal to all that. It might affect the fiat price of Bitcoin a little bit short term. Who knows? But unless we get another, nation state all out adoption, I don't think we're going to see any movements as a result of that. I don't think Bitcoin cares. I'm happy that it brings more attention to Bitcoin. I'm happy that I hope the people of Russia have an unconfiscatable sovereign wealth fund. I hope they start adopting it. I know my own, mother-in-law, I got her on Bitcoin. She's from Russia and, understands, or the former Soviet Union, understands what it's like to have, not have access to your own bank account, things like that. So it's a useful thing. I think it'll catch on there because it solves a problem that every citizen in Russia can readily identify. And it's a freedom problem. But
there's the thing. If they actually let it catch on there, okay, he would no longer be in power. It would help take out an authoritarian leader. So that there's a lot of people have high hopes in Putin and Bitcoin. I think it's completely worthless. Anything that he does or says with Bitcoin in terms of getting Bitcoin to the people, getting his central bank digital currency to the people. I think we're going to see that definitely. All right. Any more thoughts on Putin, Bitcoin? Why Bitcoiners, certain Bitcoiners just love to blow this guy? I mean, I'm going to say it right now. Max Kaiser is one of these. He makes a real big deal out of the Russia stuff. Really, I mean, but he worked for RT and everything.
Yeah, he worked for RT. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. There you go. All right, and RT is a propaganda outlet of the Russian government. Now, so let's move on to Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is this weekend. All the normies, this is their holiday. Again, it's a shame the truckers aren't in Inglewood, California right now, blocking everything. Every state would get rid of its mandates real quick if that was happening. But there are going to be a lot of advertisements. I'm not watching it. I haven't watched it in years. Well, I won't get into that. It's been great not watching it in years. I learned about Bitcoin instead of learning about the Super Bowls. Trust me, it's paid off nicely. But there are going to be crypto ads, Bitcoin ads. Is it going to cause a lot of frustration? Is it going to cause Bitcoin hate? Is it going to cause cryptocurrency hate? Or is it going to get some people interested? Through the years, when we were youth, there was a time when there was a big .com. There were all these weird .com ads when we were youth. And is it going to just be thought of that way in the long run? Kaz, what's your take?
Yeah, I'm not a big sports ball person either, so I'm not going to be watching the Super Bowl. But I imagine there'll be a lot of crypto.com commercials. Hopefully people make them like more relevant to Bitcoin and not just crypto. But I don't really see very many Bitcoin companies paying for Super Bowl ads. So I have a feeling it's going to be a shitcoin fest.
It is. It's already been. It's the people that have announced they're going with that crypto theme. But that's the bigger question here. Will this what I see online right now? There's a lot of hate toward NFTs from normies, and they kind of extrapolate that hate onto Bitcoiners. Like their commentary on the Canadian situation, they bring up the NFT stuff. It's killing the environment. These Canadians are killing the environment, even though they have nothing to do with NFTs. So I'm wondering a lot when it's said and done. When the show is over on Sunday, there are going to be a lot more people that know about crypto.com and know about these other companies. The end of it, is this going to help Bitcoin in the long run? Or is this going to really get some haters out there going to be spewing like environmental nonsense the next day? I mean, that's.
I think it's going to be a big nothing burger. I mean, I think we'll see like maybe Bitcoin and maybe some cryptocurrency like trending on Twitter, and that's about it. And like 2 days will blow over, and I don't think it's going to much will come out of it.
That's a very good prediction there. I mean, it's logical. I think that we very much could see that trending on Twitter, and then 2 days later, people are talking about Ukraine or something like that. Who? Alex, Super Bowl shuffle. Your thoughts?
I've never watched a football game in my life. I'm more into. I like MMA a lot, but.
Yeah. But in terms of the advertising.
In terms of advertising, you're going to see a lot of FTX. I don't know if crypto.com bought one. They probably bought a commercial too, right? You're going to see a lot of crypto exposure, which then comes back to the ultimate debate you guys already touched on. Is this good for Bitcoin? I don't know. I mean, I definitely came to Bitcoin, then went to cryptocurrencies, then came back to Bitcoin. And now I've been a Bitcoin only person. I don't see... It's getting harder and harder for crypto to like differentiate itself meaningfully in the market. You know, they kind of live or die by Bitcoin. So I kind of don't really care what happens in the crypto space. Like I'm not worried about competition with Bitcoin by any means. If people want to go off and trade cryptocurrencies and JPEGs with their money, I mean, have at it. That's just more Bitcoin for me. So.
Well, I am hoping for the best. I'm hoping that this will get some people into Bitcoin. I really am. I expect some negative feedback, though, to say the least. Now, Robert, you're in Europe. You probably don't care about but I want to see if you have a take, because there's a lot of people all over the world that are going to see advertisements that deal with cryptocurrency and trading and all sorts of nonsense. So your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you guys about this. Like you said, Super Bowl is not a thing over here. The commercials are also another thing, and I think we might, need to pay attention as Bitcoin enthusiasts. Maybe we should put together some kind of fundraising super PAC now and buy our Bitcoin only ad in a year with Bitcoin money and only advertise for Bitcoin. Because I think the same with like the Russia story. Like I believe, like, my background is in marketing and I'm in politics, and I'm really interested in social psychology and how people work and how people get, and enthusiastic about certain things. And I think we need to understand we're different. Like, I really liked the opening you said about, taking responsibility is a new counterculture. I think we live that, we know that, but for other people, that's not the main thing. So, I would love an ad with Bitcoin, maybe highlighting that, or, I mean, we can just maybe put you on, just record what you just said in the beginning and put you on the Super Bowl screen next year and go fund that. I would like to start a fundraiser for that, get Adam Meister on the next Super Bowl ad. I mean, that would definitely work. It has a large audience, so maybe we can pull together on this one.
I would love to scream personal responsibility is new counterculture, but you're absolutely right. So few people know about that. But I do. Lance Hoddle and some other dudes bring up a very good point. What do you think about FTX giving away 8 Bitcoin to 4 winners after the commercial? And I should have brought that up. That FTX is a company that deals with all sorts, but they are giving away free Bitcoin. So that is something that people are going to take away at the end of the Super Bowl, that a lot of free Bitcoin will be given away. And it is Bitcoin. So that is a good, I think that's a good advertisement for Bitcoin right there. Giving it away for free will definitely intrigue some people. And they're not giving away Litecoin. They're not giving away Ethereum. They are giving away Bitcoin. So I should have prefaced this story with that. So thank you, Lance, that you're wide awake, and I can't wait to meet you in person in Las Vegas. All right, now speaking about meeting people in person at events, we this super spreading Bitcoin. I want to know, Alex, you're a Bitcoin magazine guy. Are you going to be at the event in Miami?
Oh yeah, man, I'm going to be hosting a couple events in Miami. We're working really hard to get this conference off the ground. Super excited. Are you all coming?
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Well, first of all, I met Kaz in person in Miami last year. So that is an intriguing question. Will you return, Kaz?
I will be there.
Perfect.
All right.
Robert?
Now, that's a hard one. I mean, that's asking a lot.
I'm disappointed, but no, I can't. No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Robert. Hey, stream it live. I'm putting a stream. We're gonna have the whole thing live, all the the main speakers, and then we'll have all the videos from all the speakers up for sure. So you won't miss anything.
Definitely going to watch. Awesome.
I'm really hoping, I know, Robert, you're not going to be able to make it. I mean, it's less than 2 months away. Wait a second. Yeah, it's less than 2 months away now, dudes. But hopefully these truckers, who knows what restrictions might get chopped off now. I mean, it seems like the tide is turning politically, because they never cared about safety. I mean, it's all political. A certain party doesn't want to lose too bad in the House of Representatives. So certain states are suddenly, everything's fine. So maybe the federal government will just let anybody into America now. There should be no test. Anyone should be able to come into any country. It's so insane what's going on. But who knows? Maybe Europeans will find. Because I know Europeans who would love to go to this, but they don't want to deal with the politics. They don't want to deal. They don't know what tests they're going to have to take. So maybe this will all go away by then. Bitcoiners are funding this trucker thing, and who knows what this could be the spark of. But let's go back to you, Alex. So tell us more about the Miami event. I mean, the floor is yours. I mean, you're big into this, man. I mean, this is your thing.
I'm big into this, man. I think Look, I think if you're looking for camaraderie, work, a good time, education, like this is the place to be. I mean, we're all sick of kind of the boredom of the last 2 years. If you haven't gotten out to do anything, this would be the thing to spend a couple stats or spend a couple bucks, like come out. There's all sorts of discount codes floating around there. But I think like anyone who wants a job in Bitcoin there's just so many businesses emerging. Like there's almost no excuse not to find one, especially if you come to this event. Like your networking opportunities are going to be huge. You could be, find yourself sitting next to people who are, the CEOs of budding companies, current companies. I know we're going to be scouting as Bitcoin Magazine out there. There's so many just opportunities to meet people and grow this thing. I mean, I really think of this as like a business opportunity, a time to grow Bitcoin adoption and, just a networking event.
It's a major networking event. 30,000 freaking people. I was meeting all sorts of people, all sorts of opportunities coming into my lap, and other people were hooked up with opportunities there. So it's going to be 3 times bigger this year. So I'm really excited. And were you there last year?
No, I was not. Okay. No, I couldn't make it. I was in New Mexico.
There we go. The New Mexico connection again. I did not know you then, but it would be great to meet you in person this year. April 6th to 9th, dudes. It will be fun. And people can touch my hair if they want to, if that'll incentivize you to come. Adam 10. Adam 10 is the discount code to use here that I'm supposed to tell everyone to use. Okay, we've reached the end of the show. Let's see if there are any other stories that were left out, anything people want to promote. Kaz, we'll start with you. Any stories that you want to say what you're doing, and or any big news that I forgot to bring up from this week?
No, I think we hit on everything. I'm excited to see at least Adam and Alex in person. I wish I could see you, Robert. Miami's gonna be fun. I cannot believe it's only 2 months away. It's gonna be a great time. And Adam, always enjoy your podcast. I'm on the Swan Bitcoin team, so go to swanbitcoin.com, and I host the Down the Rabbit Hole Bitcoin podcast. So check that out as well.
All of these dudes are linked to below, and the topics that we have talked about today are all linked to below. So go to the notes, do your homework, click on the links, and pound that like button and retweet this and spread the freaking word. All right. So Robert, any political news? If you obviously your party was not successful in getting seats in the parliament over there in the Netherlands. Just tell us the name. I mean, tell us the name of the party again, or if the party's still alive, or your plans, or any Bitcoin stuff you want to talk about, actually.
Yeah, the party is still alive. It is the Libertarian Party of the Netherlands, so short LP, just as it is in the United States. And we're still working, we're still growing, we're still building. So I think that's a good thing. I wonder if the same is going on in other countries like the United States, because I think we saw a lot of influx of new people saying, what the heck is going on here? Why is this government doing this in my personal living sphere? And I don't like it. And, got the first hand on experience on how government can mess with your private life. So that's maybe a little good thing that people get aware of. We need to restrict government power like this. And I myself have been, I think it's been almost a year, or actually exactly a year now, since I started the V for Valentine podcast. You can see my little mascot in the back. I do it with Bor from the Bitcoin Show together every Thursday evening for the Dutchies, because it's in Dutch, unfortunately. And I think we've been living the Vivo Vendetta movie the last 2 years. So we touch on all subjects, Bitcoin and freedom of life. So if you're Dutch or you want to learn Dutch, then tune in every Tuesday at 7. I know you'd enjoy it.
Well, first off, I checked out your Twitter feed and the show. Okay, and I see it's big. And I don't know Dutch, but I do see. I do. The Dutch people, Dutch speakers, are coming from the Netherlands. The statistics that I've seen through the years, you guys represent really big numbers for such a small country in terms of being interested in Bitcoin and freedom. Now, of course, there are a lot of screaming Karens over there too, clearly, because you wouldn't elect the people that you elect over there if there weren't a huge amount of screaming horrible Karens over there. But no, there is definitely a small percentage of people that are hardcore that are freaking into Bitcoin and freedom over there. And yeah, keep us updated with everything. When the next election is going to be, but everybody check them out. There are Dutch speakers that are watching right now. And again, people, we only need $34 more in the super chat for me to do an extra show next week. So hook me up. You know how it goes around here. I know some of you want to see the One Bitcoin Show return. That's the only way you're going to see it return. Alex, what are you? I mean, you spoke some of the things that you're up to at Bitcoin Magazine, but you're writing some good stuff over there. You've got some printout or something like that. The crypto. What the heck was that?
Oh yeah. Hey, thanks for mentioning that. I'm selling intaglio prints, which is a process. You take a copper plate, you etch it. I've put the Genesis block on it. It's huge. I wish I had it in the room. I could show you. The plate has sold, but I'm going to be pulling prints off that plate. Just like in the old days, this is how they'd print dollars with this method. And then I will destroy the plate. So there's going to be a limited supply of 21 prints. You know, I take commissions to make other sorts of plates, but for this Genesis block, there's 21 prints. Got a couple prints left, and they will also be up for auction at the Bitcoin conference. But I've got a sweet pleb discount right now. They're like 90% off the auction price. So if you want some Bitcoin artwork, this is the chance for plebs to buy a couple fine art pieces for relatively cheap. And hopefully, you know, if you want to sell it later, hopefully make some money.
Dude, I do my homework. I always check out my dudes. But because I got the best freaking guest in the space here every week, I got to see what they're really up to. So yeah, man, I see what you're doing in real life and stuff. And you're in motion. I only get people who are in motion on this show, okay? We're doing things. So anything else you want to say about what you do in a Bitcoin magazine and anything?
Yeah, I mean, we're having Adam Meister show on our channel as well. So, you know, check out this show. You know, when it's over, go to Bitcoin Magazine, check that out too. We've got a growing YouTube channel, a live show about 4 days a week. About to go up north and film some more produced shows about Bitcoin as well. So lots of exciting things happening.
Well, I mean, I hope you get north of the freaking border, man. I hope sneak across. I mean, I had a guy on the show who snuck across the border before. I mean, I can. Anyway, okay, all right, dudes. Well, good. Yeah, and yeah, guys, I am on the Bitcoin Magazine channel. I should have brought that up. Thank you, Bitcoin Magazine. It's great. It's been great working with Bitcoin Magazine. Christian and everybody over there everybody's awesome. Who else do I have over there? I don't want to forget anyone. I wanted to say? Well, anyway, we got Kit over there. She's cool. Chris over there. Okay. And one other thing, guys, about meeting people in person. I am working with the Bitcoin Day guys now. They put on events all over the country, or they're going to bitcoinday.io. I will be the MC at the Oklahoma City event on the 26th of March. Adam 50 will get you $50 off of that event. Oklahoma City, I will be there. Bitcoinday.io. Yeah, dudes, I'm in motion. March 26th. So I'm going to see some of you guys in Vegas at the beginning of March, Oklahoma City at the end of March, and Miami at the beginning of April. It's all linked to below. Everybody, thank you, guests. Thank you, everyone who is watching this show. Pound that like button, retweet it. Shabbat Shalom. I'll be back next Thursday, maybe before, if we can get some $34 on PayPal. Said that you can get me back earlier. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Subscribe to the channel. Go to the events. Thank you again, guys. And really, seriously, have a great weekend. Shabbat Shalom. Yes. Super Bowl also. You know how it is. The Rams are going to win probably. I'll see you guys later. St. Louis. I will never forget you, St. Louis. All right.